understanding of a range of communities and faiths. And I would like to, and also for the honour of welcoming our first speaker, Fabian Hamilton, who I also would like to thank for hosting the launch of the British Sikh Report of 2013 in Parliament. And I'd just like to say that Fabian Hamilton is a Labour MP for Leeds North East and is a member of the International Development Committee. Fabian was recently seen on Twitter requesting that Ed Balls joins the Leeds United team. However, that might have been taken grossly out of context, and I'll leave it to him to make any further reflections. Thank you.
That's quite an introduction, isn't it? Thank you for that. I only thought he should join just to encourage him in his London Marathon running this Sunday, so we hope he does well. Sat Sri Akal, good evening everybody, and thank you very much for your attendance. It's fantastic to see so many people here this evening to launch the 2014 report. Now, I've just had a chance, very briefly, to look at some of the facts and figures in here. I think this is an outstanding piece of work. And like last year, it is so important to all of us to know this information. We have the information, of course, from the census that was taken in 2011, but this is a much, much deeper investigation into the Sikh community in the United Kingdom. As it says on page 10, Sikh settlements in Britain can be traced back to 1854, when the 15-year-old Maharaja Duleep Singh, the last king of the Sikh Empire, was brought to England following the annexation of the Punjab by the East India Company. Now, one of the things that I've always noticed about Sikhism is something that I came into politics to try and achieve too, and something Charles referred to, and that is that in the Sikh faith, perhaps more than any other I know, men and women are treated as equals. And it struck me when I first went to Vaisakhi, the first Vaisakhi I celebrated in Leeds, and we're celebrating it again this weekend on Saturday. It'll be my 27th Vaisakhi, because I first went in 1988 as chair of our Equal Opportunities Committee on the Council. And I noticed the banners of people marching to celebrate Vaisakhi from the Gurdwara on Sheppertown Road, the old Gurdwara if you know Leeds at all, to what's now Millennium Square. And it said, the Gurus say equality for men and women. Women are the equals to men. And I've never quite seen that before in any religious context. And so on paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on page 11, let me quote, in recent years there's been a vast increase in the popularity of feminist groups aimed at the British Sikh female population. These empowerment groups and online forums, and one of them is called Courageous, others are called Chorista, and Cor's Corner, to name but a few, take inspiration from the egalitarian teachings of Sikhs, which elevated the position of females both from both a philosophical and practical level. So that is really, really important. I noticed, by the way, and I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this, on page 15, under methodology, there's a wonderful pie chart, and it's the gender of respondents. So not quite 50-50 here, 41% female respondents and 58% male. So it made me wonder where the other 1%, what they were. But I gather they declined to state whether they were male or female. But that's quite an interesting point there. I notice also on page 13, under Young British Sikhs, Transmission, Identity and Belonging, there are now, according to the 2011 census to which I referred earlier, 423,158 Sikhs, approximately 0.7% of the population. Don't worry, it's not a vote. And I noted that, in fact, there are now fewer than 300,000 British Jews, which I think is quite interesting. The Sikh population has now overtaken the Jewish population of the United Kingdom. And I only mention that because I represent a big Jewish community in North East Leeds and a big Sikh community. And we try and bring the two together where possible, because there are so many common values between Sikhs and Jews, and between Sikhs and everybody else, of course, but the Sikh community and the Jewish community really, really get on well together, especially in North East Leeds. And when I took a group of Sikh leaders to the Jewish Community Centre recently, which had been opened about 3 or 4 years ago. We went in there to the dining area, and almost all the older people stood up, shook hands and embraced the Sikh visitors. They were really delighted to see them there. This interaction between different faiths in British society can only enrich both and the rest of us. And I hope that this report will play its part in that. And just a final comment that I was going to make was that the age of respondents, I noticed, between 31 and 35, the majority, well, 22%, and between 26 and 30, 21%. So you've got 43% of respondents, and if you add those aged 21 to 25, you've got 58% of all the respondents are aged between 21 and 35. That's pretty good, and that gives you a very, very good idea of exactly what younger Sikhs want, because we know that the demographic of the Sikh community is that 105,985, that's 25%, are between the ages of 15 and 29. And the majority now, 56.6%, are British born. All these facts, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely essential, not just for the Sikh community, but for the whole of British society, to understand the role that Sikhs play in Great Britain, amongst the British population, as British people. It helps us. It deepens our knowledge, it makes us more appreciative of that role, and it's incredibly valuable. So I just want to thank the authors, thank all the people who've been involved in writing this report, in doing the research for this report, and of course all of you who took part in the report and responded to the surveys. Keep up the brilliant work, and I hope that this time next year we'll be launching an even better and even more detailed report. Our knowledge is great, and you've allowed us to have that knowledge. Thank you.